In the heart of Houston, under the golden glow of fight night lights, a man known simply as Respect stood on a cusp of legacy. Born Respect Davis, the son of legend Saucy Davis, he carried more than just gloves into that ring. He carried the weight of a name he didn't inherit, but earned.
At 34 years of age, the shine of a young prodigy had faded, replaced now with the steel of experience. Gone were the days of 4 fights a year, of dancing through opponents like a young Ali in springtime. What stood now was a man of discipline, patience, and of purpose.
His dream loomed on the horizon, a battle with Saul CANELO Alvarez. But before that, he had to face the storm in front of him, a storm named Alexander Wilkes.
"24 years young, man. A brawler, forged in emotion. 16 wins, 15 knockouts, yo. 3 losses, all from wars that left something behind. He wasn't really a technician, though. He wasn't refined or polished, but he had something just as dangerous: chaos. And he wore it on his gloves.
They came to see if the old lion could still roar, if the smaller, hungrier dog would bite too deep. The air was electric, not because of the height, but because of questions. Could Respect handle someone who didn't play chess, but flipped the whole damn board over?
Crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup.
Round 1 began, and the first punch Alexander Wilkes threw wasn't too sharp. I mean, it wasn't clean. It was a message, though, and Respect heard it loud and clear. From the first bell, Wilkes came looping wild, all heart, all fury. But Respect, he didn't panic. He'd been here before. Younger men with fire in their bellies, but Respect had ice in his veins. He flashed his hand speed, fast, sharp shots. He wanted Wilkes to just take one step back, just one step, and he did, just one. Respect had trained for this exact chaos, for that big old head charging forward, for the accidental headbutts crap. His camp preached composure. They drilled combinations, not for the show, but for the science, for the breakdown of the body.
He wasn't just fighting Wilkes. He was honoring his team. Every step, every shift, a thank you to the men in his corner who reminded him that talent fades, but techniques last forever.
Wilkes landed. Oh, yes, he did. But every time he did, he paid. Respect made sure of that. He made the young man feel each mistake that he made. And as the round closed, Respect's hands were clean. His eyes were sharper than ever. Round 2 began not with violence, but with strategy. Respect doubled down on the fundamentals: tight movement, clean angles, and controlling the space like a general surveying a battlefield. Now that Heat felt Wilkes' power, he wasn't really afraid to dig deeper. He started throwing heavier shots to the body, looping hooks designed not to end the fight, but just to slow the fight, to make Wilkes drag his legs and drop his hands.
Respect remembered what it felt like to be a younger man. Invincible. He remembered walking through shots like they were gusts of wind, and he knew eventually catches up to every man.
By the end of the second, the left side of Wilkes' face had begun to betray him. The right hook from the southpaw stance was getting through like clockwork, a reminder that even the toughest men break.
It was the end of the second round, and the corner was reminding Respect: control your breathing, manage your tempo. They didn't want glory shots. They wanted a breakdown, a slow dismantling. This wasn't about ego. It was about execution.
Round 3, the final chapter before the prophecy. Respect had told the world on TikTok, on Instagram, that round 4 would be the end. With that in mind, he used round 3 to carve the path. Heavy breathing now from both men, but Respect remained focused, straight to the body. Every time it landed, Wilkes flinched just a little more. The headshots missed here and there, but the body betrayed Wilkes again and again.
Judges might have liked to feel Wilkes connects, but real ones, the ones who've been in a gym, who've heard leather against rib, they knew Respect was playing chess with broken glass. After round 3, the referee warned Wilkes for shots after the bell. The corner tried to convince Respect he was losing. A mind game to keep him sharp, I guess. But Respect, he wasn't fooled. They saw the man across from him. They saw a fighter who'd been outclassed, and he knew it.
Round 4 started, the round of the prophecy, and yet the judges had it 2-1 Wilkes. A slight, a mistake, a spark. Respect didn't talk. He didn't scream. He just boxed, sat down on every shot. Everything he threw had accuracy and intent. Wilkes just kept dipping to the body, but there was nothing behind it for real. His power had faded, his soul shaking.
Round 4 ended, and on his stool, Respect sat tall, almost as if he was sitting on a throne. Wilkes slumped, a cut now over his left eye, blood coming, breath shallow. This wasn't the face of a winner. It was the face of a man being introduced to his lineage. And although Respect didn't fulfill his prophecy of the 4th round KO, they still felt there was plenty to accomplish in this fight. And he feels like he was lucky to have survived the theory that Alexander had bought in the previous round.
And the 5th round started. Lightning, that's what it looked like. Quick 1-2 from Respect, faster than most men can throw in a round 1, let alone round 5. Wilkes never saw it, and that's when it clicked. He wasn't in with a man his age. He was in with something else. Respect was dancing now, not disrespectful, but deliberate. Each movement an insult to Wilkes' power, swelling on his left side, eye beginning to close, and yet Wilkes fought on.
But, the body always tells the truth. The gashed eye, the fading power, the loosened mouth guard dangling from his mouth. Wilkes was breaking. And then, blood, a wide open cut over his eye. The black gloves of Respect were now stained red.
Still, Wilkes swung wildly. Still, he believed. But Respect didn't flinch. And in that moment, you could see the spirit leave Wilkes.
They said Respect had won the last 2 rounds, but looking at Wilkes' face, he'd think he lost them all. Both eyes swollen, one completely shut. Ringside, his children cried, his wife pleaded. The brutality of honesty laid bare in front of thousands. And still, he fought. He swung because, hell, that's what fighters do.
But Respect was done being patient. He loaded up. One final combination. One final lesson. And just before the hammer fell, Kenny Bayless stepped in. No more. No further. TKO. Round 7. The crowd erupted. Wilkes, with a look of disappointment, walked slowly to his corner. Respect raises his arms slowly but under control. Not really celebrating, more reflection.
All Respect, Bayless didn't win because he was stronger or faster. He won because he understood. He understood the burden of execution and expectation, the cost of preparation, the beauty of restraint and discipline. And as he stood in the center of that ring, with his father Saucy watching from the front row, Canelo Alvarez stepped through the ropes. No words were needed, just a nod, just a date to be set, for legacy, for destiny. Because in the end, folks, Respect isn't just a name, it's a statement.